today's episode of Sketchbook to iPad, we are going to complete this illustration. You already know I love creating the sketches in my sketchbook. The feel of paper and pencil really inspires me to put something from my mind out in the world, like express myself. And when inspiration hits, it's very easy for me to literally just sketch out the idea and later complete it digitally, because why not make the best of both the worlds, right? Both the traditional and digital mediums cannot replace each other. We should take them hand in hand and make the most of the benefits of both the mediums. With unlimited color palettes, undo features, and moving things around, tech makes the process fun, easy, and the results are stunning. While sketching is something I really enjoy the old way. Although now with practice using HB pencil, sometimes I like sketching on iPad itself. But when I don't know whether I'll be able to take my iPad everywhere, at least a sketchbook, a paper, my pencil is with me so I can just sketch out the ideas whenever inspiration hits. Doing the line art right now, sometimes I even enjoy doing the line art with the microns and the brush pens. It really depends on the mood. We all digital artists were first traditional artists. Just the medium of expression keeps changing, and I think that makes the overall process fun. Especially when we don't know what to draw or when there's some creativity block, changing mediums really helps, and combining is the best way out. I reduce the opacity of the sketch, and then on new layer I start inking with the drying brush. I usually share the entire process in all of the videos for those who are new here. Usually I don't like to experiment much with my inking brush. I really love the texture of the drying brush and the pressure sensitivity, but sometimes I really enjoy trying out different brushes for inking and the effects I can achieve. This is like a botanical composition. I was thinking to not add any outline in the shape of the wings. Let's see when I remove the sketch how it'll look. Now you can see that I'll have to add more clouds to make it look more obvious that these are wings without the outline. Looks good. Going with the Eagle Hawk brush, I'm going to add the shades of pink and orange. That's gonna match the oranges or the fruits around. I really like to play around with the colors, sometimes not really using the natural colors of the fruits. So like pink, oranges, and a little hint of orange obviously to give that ombre effect. You know, lately I've been loving this brush. Playing around with color dynamics really helps in giving this dynamic effect. So many different hues, similar to each other because the percentage is low. And I really enjoy coloring this way. Otherwise, earlier I used to like color drop. You can speed up the process because this is kind of a real-time process of me coloring if you really enjoy it and you find it relaxing. The textures, loving it. And we repeat. For the greens of the leaves, I'm going to go behind the oranges layer. Like to keep all the colors on separate layers so that later if I just want to alpha lock and change the color, I can do that or change the saturation. But with brushes like these, when I have varied hues, alpha locking and color dropping doesn't really help. This was the process I used to do when I used to use color drop, so I have this habit. But it doesn't make sense right now. If I would want to color drop another shade, I'll lose the different hues and textures. Maybe not the textures, but sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it gets frustrating when I want a different hue on one part and a different hue on the other. I'll have to keep lifting the pencil. In that case, I like to use the pressure sensitive color dynamics brush, adding gray for a little bit of contrast, a warm shade of gray. I'll play around with the opacity, adding a little more thickness where overlapping is happening, and I forgot to add the color to that leaf. In the background layer, I added white because I wanted to do the background this way. Otherwise, if I were using the white from the background, it would show up in the wings. Now adding the cast shadow using the multiply blend mode. All the overlapping things will have this shadow. And later I'll add the form shadow, basically the shading, using the soft light brush and black and white colors. Also adding a little bit in the form of form shadow, the purple, so that we have a little more variation in the hue. This step can be skipped, but I think it really adds life to the illustration. I like to do one part of the leaf a little darker than the other, so I add this black color using the round brush on the soft light layer. Now since the soft light layer doesn't work on white, I picked up this shade and I saved it. A very light gray for the shadows on the white, adding my watermark, and now adding the highlights. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, you would love watching the next video at the end screen, and subscribe for more such content. If you want to learn digital art and illustration in Procreate in detail, you can check the links in the description and join the next batch or the waitlist based on when you're watching this video. Now you can see that I tried adding textures, so I was confused between these two. I'm going to change the blend mode to multiply so that it gives like a textured paper effect. Switch off one of these to see how each of these look. I'm going to delete the other texture. Now whether do I like the paper texture or not, figuring that out. I think I do like it, but at a little lower opacity. And the stray mark, this is the technique to find the layer. Hit one finger on that round thing and the other finger. You can obviously change that in the quick menu settings, and we're done with the illustration. I'll pop up the final close up and I'll see you in the next video.